Hello and welcome to McGovern Drums. Today I'd like to show you some basic tips on how to get started. First off, let's take a look at the setup. I'm a right-handed person, so this is the standard right hand setup. You'll see my bass drum or kick drum is being played with my right foot. My hi-hat will be on the left-hand side. You can keep that closed with your left foot. And I have a snare drum right in front of my knees, slightly higher than my knees. My chair, as you can see, it's not too high or too low. My legs are at basically a little bit more than 90 degrees. Now you don't want to sit too close or too far from the drums. If you're too close, you feel crowded. If you're too far, you can't reach everything comfortably. So just find that nice zone where you can reach everything without too much effort. Now let's take a basic look at the hand technique. I play what's called match grip. And with match grip, what you want to do is hold onto the stick, not too tightly. You want to maintain the natural shape of your hand the best you can. Put your drumstick into your hand, and then just manipulate your fingers so that they're all touching the stick. Your hand should be nice and open in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on some drum beats. First off, very, very simple. I'm going to play on the hi-hat with my right hand quarter notes. And basically with quarter notes, all you do is you count to 4 over and over again. So it sounds like this. I'm sure most of you can do that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add what we call the backbeat. In other words, the snare hit with my left hand. So you'll see my hands are crossed over. Now if you're a left-handed person, you might want to set up your drums opposite to the way I have mine. I've seen many left-handed players play the same setup, but they lead with their left hand, so they don't cross their hands over like I do. So I'm going to go ahead and add this backbeat on beats 2 and 4. It sounds like this. Again, pretty simple. I'm sure most of you can do that without too much effort. Now we're going to go ahead and add the bass drum on beat 1 and beat 3. So it sounds like this. Once you've got that mastered, you can go ahead and start playing what we call eighth notes on the hi-hat. Now eighth notes have 2 hits per beat. And you count it like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the ands are what we call the upbeats. It sounds like this. Now you'll notice if you listen to a lot of popular music, typically the hand pattern kind of stays the same, but the bass drum pattern will change. So in your first lesson, what we're going to work on is maintaining that same hand pattern, but mixing up the bass drum a little bit. Here's the first variation. For the second variation, I'm going to go ahead and add another bass drum to the very end of the beat. So you can hear 2 bass drums in a row from the end back to the beginning. It sounds like this. For the third variation, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 bass drums right after the first snare drum. It sounds like this. Okay, and I'm going to show you one more variation. There's plenty of variations, but for today's lesson, I'll show you one more. It sounds like this. Okay, now for the next section here, I'm going to show you how to do some simple fills. The first fill, all we're going to do is play 4 hits on the snare, and then a crash cymbal and a bass drum at the same time. So it sounds like this. I'm going to take that first variation and just repeat it and add this little roll to the end. It sounds like this. Okay, now I'm going to lengthen that drum beat a little bit and go ahead and add all of my toms. So basically I'm going to play 4 hits on each drum. It's going to sound like this. So that will take up a whole measure. So I'm going to play variation 1, followed by variation 4, back to variation number 1, and then I'm going to play 4 hits on each drum. It sounds like this. All right, that concludes our beginner lesson for today. Please be sure to watch for more videos at McGovern Drums on YouTube, or you can visit my website at www.mcgoverndrums.com. Thanks and have a great day.